Legitlolly staying alive for now and never make their move. Either 8 shots are going to be hitting hard here for Bryn. He'll take down one. He doesn't get the second though, and it's going to be Legitlolly maybe. Just maybe, with a chance to win this. He comes in behind noises. He hits some good shots, but no, the pressure's getting to him. He can't finish this off, surely. He gets one. He gets one. Legitlolly stays alive. And I tell you what, 4gang,
this point. So new Fire Beavers, Kungarna, Forg on the nose, all have the ability to win the entire event right here in this next match, and that is a scary prospect, of course, with New having done such a good job so early on, now having so much competition. But you've got to say hats off, because these were hard-earned points, and Fork had basically the hard.
Don't worry about getting that point. They will be rotating extremely early. We can see the circle is going to be around between Overlook, Fragment East, and Epicenter. So the train tracks between those, we might see some people try and go for those. Also, No Name, we might see people bank on that being a pull. And also just northwest of where Overlook is, we also see a couple of finishes up there. So expect a few early rotations, especially from those teams who have already found themselves on match point. But it is a long, long way for Kungarna to go. You can see them over at Lava Fissure.
Yeah, it certainly is. Fire Beaver's got to go from West Fragment. That's not too bad as a rotation for them. So maybe all eyes might be on Fire Beavers here, as we're going to take a look at Kungarna now, and that long rotation you were talking about. However, they do have Valkyrie, and that changes things a little bit, Dan. We have kind of pointed this out. The long rotation now, maybe not as terrifying for a team as it was previously before Valkyrie was introduced to the Legend pool. Can cover a lot of ground and kind of skip a few beats on those teams who might be a little bit further ahead of you, who might not be running that Legend.
Yeah, I much prefer Valkyrieing right at the start. Like, get an ultimate accelerant, get your loot, and then go. If you do it a little bit too late, the real estate has already been taken, and you just get blazed out of the sky, and there has been some very questionable Valkyrie decisions throughout this tournament, I must add. But if you get it done early, you get ahead of those other teams, then that's why you've got Valkyrie in your team. And I think this is the perfect time for the likes of Kungarna, for the likes of Fire Beavers to just get across and find what they think is the prime position. But as we saw in the last game, circle pools can be brutal. You might think that you have the perfect circle for many a time, but when it gets to that last one, it might just pull in the wrong direction to another team who has just somehow managed to outdo you in terms of their positioning.
Well, Scars are one team we haven't mentioned so far today, really, and kind of understandable. Down in 15th place at the moment, only managed to scrape up 16 points so far from the 4 games we've had go down. However, look at that kill feed. It's almost as if they heard me, as if they're tapped into the stream right now, because Mandy has managed to take down Yuki, and Naski's in some trouble as well. Aquanet's trying to make that quick rotation. And the reason I wanted to bring up Scars is because this is a really good zone for them. They drop over at Overlook, and if they can control this space, they might be able to put up quite a few points here. However, RPR has gone down, and now this situation they found themselves in a few moments ago, which was looking good, is not good whatsoever, because RPR has been finished off.
The RPR went a little bit gung-ho there and has got caught out, and now it looks like Yuki's going to be rezzed. Are Scar's going to dive on this? Yes, they're going to go from behind and see if they can actually get some kills. There's the shredding shot from the R301. Mandy doing his job best. Tashin coming in as well to finish things off onto Naski, and now we're going to see a straight 2v2 here.
Yeah, they need to be quick on this because they want to get that banner back. They want to get that res, even though the shield swappers come in. The damage output from the 301 here of Mandy is forcing Aqualix back. He's going to have to use that bubble. Tashin in position. If he can hit 1 or 2 more wingman shots, he might have a chance to turn this fight around. But at the same time here, Dan, Aqualix, Del, and Yuki doing such a good job to hold their ground as well.
This is a fantastic hold. It's a very elongated fight, though. A lot of noise is being made here, and a third party could be on the horizon, and there it is. Major pushes come from behind, and Scars will be wiped out early yet again. Aqualix just a thorn in the side there of Scars, not being able to wipe them, and Aqualix looks like they're going to get away.
And how has this all happened? Valkyrie, teams being able to get into Overlook, breaking up the timing that maybe the likes of Scars were used to having. They think they've got a little bit more time to work with over at Overlook. Before teams getting to position to get behind them, they rotate. Valkyrie really has changed the game here, and that was a good example of it. Fenerbahce having to revive one player here, Pinky Finky back to his feet. 18 squads now remaining, so we've lost another squad on our way towards this zone at Overlook. But look how many teams are already in position here, Dan. This is the difference we are seeing now in Apex Legends from just a few months ago.
And I did just briefly see Kungana have only just made it to Skyhook, so they haven't rotated quickly. They're, in fact, going to be one of the last teams to make it into that circle. But they do have a balloon to work with. They want to use it, and now it seems like they're going to start to transition their way across the map. But they could play edge. That is another way to approach a game like this. I know we always say, rotate early, maybe you'll find a building. At the same time, people are going to expect you to be in said buildings. If you can play edge, if you can take those fights, if you can be the dominant ones, you're also going to get ammunition, you're going to get loot, you're going to get utility, which is going to give you a better chance in those fights later. And especially when there are several teams on match point, you can't play too safe.
Na'Vi, 31 points to their name right now in 10th position overall on the leaderboards. So they need to pick up a decent amount of points, 19 of them in this game to get onto match point. And most importantly for them, of course, if they want to get onto match point, they're going to have to hope that the 4 teams who are sat on it at the moment are going to fall before they get those points on the board. But looks like Na'Vi playing with range at the moment, playing this height between Refinery and Epicenter, and just trying to hold any late rotating teams out that might be coming from the north. You saw the likes of Kungana were trying to make that move, but Na'Vi at the moment are just dealing so much damage, leveling up those Evos. Kuya already on a purple. But you can see across the lobby, loads of people already managed to leveling up the Evos down. It seems like it's just light work for these pros.
So all 4 teams that are on match point have an entirely different composition. No mirror compositions whatsoever, which is always great to see. People going for a different approach. We've got the Loba on Fire Beavers. We have the Caustic on Ford Gang. And oh my goodness, what's going on here? Na'Vi trying to stay alive, but Magician's doing very well to pressure.
Yeah, Na'Vi were doing all of the damage there. You saw that Disbelief was just moments away from being taken down himself, and now Arthurs is going to take down Kuya. Not just take him down, he's going to get the finish as well. And now Na'Vi, from a position where everything was looking good, find themselves on the end of a Sentinel headshot from Nesh. That's going to be turning things around again. Magicians have to get the res. This is a battle for the ages here as the missile swarm now comes in and Magicians find themselves on the back foot.
It's also a battle for match point for Magicians. They're only 3 points off getting there to that elusive 50 that they're searching for. So if they were to win one team fight, they would be there. I saw they had at least 1 KP, but they are on the run right now. Na'Vi could hunt them, but I don't think they will. They don't really have the weapons to necessarily hunt them. Instead, it's more of a distance fight right now, and Na'Vi might instead look to try and recover this banner and get Kuya back up.
Yeah, Kuya's banner has been recovered, and you can see that from the point of view there of Strafey. So they're going to be looking to get him back in. Might be able to go towards Refinery to get that res, even though it would be going into the zone for just a few moments. But impressive hold from both teams. That's the thing about Apex Legends. Initial damage, initial knock. If you get a little bit overzealous, the talent on these players that we just saw from Nesh with that Sentinel headshot, 1 bullet can change the outcome of a fight. Endeavor, they're in the deep pocket here. You can see they're the orange team just to the northeast of where that circle is going to be pulling. And New Esports, one of our match point teams, well, they're just sat inside of Overlook right now.
So this was one of the other compositions I was going to get to. New Esports running the Caustic. And of course, you know, just the ability to continuously scan as well. The fact that you can have the ability to go into the drone, get the scan, you're always going to have that information, and then you always know where you stand. It's the same composition that they ran last time with the Crypto and the Wraith, but we'll see whether it works out a little bit better, because they just weren't able to quite get there in the previous. They got to the top 3, and we were thinking maybe, just maybe, they were going to win it in 1, but it looks like you're going to have to try and get it done in 2 here.
Underrated trying to join teams on match point at the moment. They're 9 points behind us. I took a little glance to my left. This police will go down here, and it's going to be August and Hungary are trying to move in, and that will be them eliminated. A fantastic push there coming in from August and Hungary. Took pretty much no damage whatsoever. I stand corrected, and Silta has been taken down. However, they've managed to recover that banner, and I'm pretty sure that's Na'Vi across the way as those missiles and the bullets do whistle past their ears. Here comes a push now from Underrated as we jump back on board with them in that Revenant form once again. Damage done. Knocks coming in, and unfortunately Morning Stars will be feeling the wrath of Revenant once more.
Yeah, Revenant really can be just a pain in the backside, if I'm completely honest. Just confirmation, by the way, it was only 2 kills for Magicians, so they didn't do enough to get on match point. They'll already be on 49 points. That's agonizingly close for them.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Underrated. Oh, they're just continuing their march. They're doing what they do best, and that is finding teams who are dawdling a little bit on their way to zone and taking advantage of them. Maestro making their rotation. You can see the last team to rotate from the western side of World's Edge here. August and Hungary getting that revived right at the very tip of the northwest inside a zone. This is where New Esports currently find themselves, though, on the bottom floor of this building. Above them, Fire Beavers. This is a match point household for everybody who's inside.
They're just renting out a room at the moment. And it's whether you want to kick them out and say, actually, we don't fancy you stinking up this place. We want to take home the W today. And New Esports are doing just that. There is very much a lot of stink going on down here. Gas traps being placed in the windows to block any visibility and also to protect the doors so that no one can get in. New Esports are not moving until they physically have to.
This is New Esports trying to hide. The blackout blinds are there. And we're not here. Just everyone be cool about it, okay? We're just going to survive to the end game. But you're completely right. No vision whatsoever for teams. And I wonder if they know that Fire Beavers are above them at the moment. And I wonder if Fire Beavers know that New Esports are below them, because they're going to have to deal with each other at some point. That's the crazy thing. One of these two teams will have to engage. And I'm just looking across the compositions, and I didn't quite catch if Wraith was actually on Fire Beavers, but I'll tell you what, if there is a Wraith here and there's a kidnap attempt, that really could change things.
There's not a Wraith on Fire Beavers. There is a Wraith on New Esports, however. But I don't think New Esports are going to move from the downstairs. I think they're going to be more than happy. But you're completely right. If they catch wind of who is there, and it may just be one team poking out of a window and getting a knock, and then they suddenly go, oh, okay, there is a team with us, and oh, it is one of the teams on match point. You never know, but you don't really want to ruin your tournament by trying to eliminate them and stop them from winning. Instead, they're just going to focus and probably play their own game. Another team who is on match point, of course, is Kungana. They did rotate fairly fast, considering they dropped at Lava Fisher. They find themselves in the northern side of this circle. They will be within the next circle as well. Not that they know that, though. They don't have that information that all the other teams do who are already in residence.
One thing they don't have, like you point out, a beacon legend who's going to give them the information. Kungana kind of currently stuck on that low ground, and here's Underrated again doing what they do best, and that's getting involved with fights. They do manage to get some damage done. And now they're going to be looking to take advantage of that once more. Death Totem, hello once again, and here comes the full send once again from Underrated. The last thing you want to see is the name K-Swinny, Dazzo, or Jazaz coming towards you, because you know that means only one thing here, Dan, and that is that you're going to be on the receiving end of a hell of a lot of bullets.
Well, Maestro have played enough Revenant that they maybe deserve a Revenant push coming their way. I hate to say it, but I mean, Scars at least will be watching on and be happy. Mandy in particular will be laughing in, well, the death screen, because unfortunately Scars were eliminated a little bit earlier on, but Maestro have managed to at least stay alive here. Rugby and Sanya will be there. Ron going down, so at least it's not the end of the world. They can get back up. They have achieved one placement point by being in the top 15. And whilst we are talking about those who have already got to match point, we of course have to focus on those teams who are still trying to get there. Magicians, as we mentioned, they were 1 point away but didn't get there. They died. Underrated were 9 points off there. Oh my.
And that has changed things completely. I stand corrected as well, just for a second. Forgot completely that Valkyrie has the ability to hit those beacons, so apologies for that, as we see Underrated getting involved and taking down Maestro. More kills going for them as they finish the job they started just a few moments ago. But that zone pull, Dan, is absolutely devastating, because now two of our match point teams have to move. And they're stacked up on top of each other. Here's a fight breaking out between August and Hungry. Damage being done now by Vidoli, and the flatline isn't enough damage to be done, though, as Matafe will go down. Silta will come in for the res. And it looks like just for a few seconds, August and Hungry will be able to reset, but as I say that, looks like a third party's in the vicinity, or is it just the Bloodhound ultimate so that Scan can come out? Even with the Scan though, Graceful's recognized this situation. He's pulling out to try and find some of those graceful angles that bring him so much damage and create so much carnage. And that's Kungana.
August and Hungry may have taken down Na'Vi, but Kungana got the knock, but it doesn't look like they want to push, although as he goes back through the portal, there is the crack of the shields, but it's not enough, I would imagine, for them to re-engage, because this zone pull that you were talking about really does favour Kungana. They were the northern side of the circle. You can see how close they are, but actually it's going to be Blast, Noises, and Bryn who are occupying the entirety of that circle. Endeavour are dominating this final zone, and they just really need to spread themselves out, try and keep teams at bay, hold as much area as possible, and then retreat to wherever they think is the best position in this circle.
16 points is what Endeavour need to get onto match point. And they're in the best place to do it. And look at this, there might be a care package coming down right in front of them as well that might gift them something to just help them along the way. And they're one of the teams that I certainly had my eye on. They're one of my picks, one of my predictions to get onto match point. And if they do, they've won a number of games, which show they can take home lobby wins, not just put points on the board. August and Hungary trying to scrape their way forward as well, but with 13 squads still alive, easier said than done as the bullets will whistle past numerous orifices as Underrated decide that, once again, it's time to go, boys. Who do we want to kill next? You'll do. Arkstar goes down. Swinny gets sent back, though. Maybe not the damage that he would have wanted to get done. And now the Death Tome has actually been destroyed. And that is bad news here for Underrated. August and Hungry move in, and Underrated get a little bit of their own medicine for once.
Yeah, one of the most notable things here with Underrated, they don't have the Octane to go along the Revenant. So even though they're initiating with the Death Totem, they aren't able to then re-engage after they've been sent back. So it's very difficult. You have to time it perfectly. And unfortunately, on that occasion, they were pushing a high ground. August and Hungry had everything they needed to stop that push and everything they needed to finish that fight. And August and Hungry now will be trying to get themselves towards the late game to themselves try and get on match point. Another team that we haven't spoken too much about. Flavor of the Month have been quietly going about their business throughout this tournament. They need a big game as well if they're to get match point. We'd have to see a victory plus a tremendous amount of kills. It would probably take them a couple of games, if I'm completely honest, to reach match point, and they may not get given that chance.
August and Hungary have got to make a very, very difficult rotation now. They're on the outsider zone. They've got the longest to travel, and they're on the quickest side of it. So they're going to have to go through teams. It might be a portal from Atafe, who's moved over to Wraith from Valkyrie that we saw him playing a little bit earlier. To try and find a spot to play. Game of Drones making their move as well. They'll be just on the edge of where that next zone is going to be moving. And look at this, 4 gang. The caravan is occupied. The truck is full. And they ain't going to be moving for a while.
Game of Drones are a team that have been able to find success on World's Edge. 1 victory for them throughout the entire tournament from the 10 games that they did play throughout groups. Of course, some teams played more games than others because of how the lower bracket worked out. But Game of Drones did come through the upper bracket. They were one of the teams that just managed to go under the radar a little bit. Now, Kungana, right on the northern side of this circle, with a real chance of winning the game if they can go unnoticed, but I don't think they have. Endeavor are doing a fantastic job on set, holding them back.
Oh, the EMP comes in as well. Oh, it's so close to a knock here from Bryn. The bubble goes down at just the right second. Bryn gonna have to retreat back with that portal. And Kungana survive. And surviving is the name of the game here for teams on a match point. But only got a knock in the kill feed as well for August and Hungary. But that was just a couple of bullets away from Endeavor, really ruining things there for Kungana, who are holding on here for dear life.
Fire Beavers are starting to turn up in the kill feed, so that means both themselves and New Esports have probably made their move to somewhere else out of that building, or at least have let themselves be known. But Sunset's just gone down, and maybe it's trouble in paradise for Fire Beavers as Flavor of the Month also get eliminated in 13th position. Game of Drones are the team that's pushing in. Unfortunately, one will go down as New Esports still will be holding this building.
Yeah, New Esports have the chance to push it and take out Fire Beavers. I'm not sure if they realize that damage has been done, or maybe they're just worried about the fact that they know they're on match point. You know, they could eliminate one team around them here who are going to be joining them. They surely have the audio cues that the heals are coming in, but for now they decide not to push. So New Esports playing it as calm and collected as possible, but I don't know if that's a risk that's worth taking, to be honest with you. I feel like they had the opportunity to push. If you can take that team out, it also opens up your rotation towards zone, something they're certainly going to have to think about, as now August and Hungary, who have been having a monster game so far in this lobby, as can be shown by the 5 kills and the 5 assists at the hands of Badoli. They try and force their way in once more.
Yeah, 10 KP already. That would take him up to 30 points. A win would then take him to 42. And imagine if they were to get a win, more KP would be on the way. So there is a possibility they could have a mammoth game to get to match point, but they'd have to stop everyone else from doing so. 7, 8, 9 get wiped, I believe, and it's going to be Kungana on the damaging end of it. JMW with the scout from distance, but look at the ammo count. It's not great for JMW, but look at the armors. The armors are looking tasty.
Well, even though we're seeing these teams get eliminated, we just had news from the back. 2 of the most important teams to keep an eye on have gone. Fire Beavers and New Esports. 2 teams who were on match point have gone. And even more interestingly for me, just in the background there, we caught 4 gang making a skyward dive. Kangana have lost one as well here in Graceful, and if 4Gang have managed to find a position to play, then they could be the team that's left on match point here. Kangana have to do something crazy. The push now coming in, and they have to hold off, and somehow Mady keeps the dream alive for Kangana.
But it's not over yet. Another team wants to get involved on this. They've noticed where Kangana are. They want the tournament to carry on. JMW, the last remaining player, the last hope for new esports for Kangana, excuse me, and it's not going to work out. So our attention suddenly turns to 4Gang, who have been able to get into the circle and I believe are still alive.
They are 3 players. That Skyward dive from them was absolutely huge. Phoenix Legacy are the team who are in front of them. Up on top of that high ground is going to be Endeavor. The team have been holding things down for a while. And look at this. That Caustic Barrel might have just given away the position here of 4Gang. Now, do Phoenix Legacy make the play that's going to make the lobby smile and try to take out 4Gang? This is the most important team in the lobby for everyone else. 4Gang now, they're going to get pushed. Bubble will go down. Shot going to be exchanged. Lippin has to back down. 4Gang trying to hold off this push. Bubble's going to be exchanged now. The scan will come in and it will be Phoenix Legacy now who have to retreat. 4Gang standing their ground, and here comes the Hail Mary play from them. Up into the skies. Phoenix taking damage, Road taking damage as well, but can they find somewhere to play? This is all or nothing here for 4Gang.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know where you go from here. Maybe you can go behind these little cliff edges and stay alive. Legitlolly has to stay up. You've got to get the bubble down and get some swaps. Row will fall, so 2 members of 4Gang are still alive. Has the rest of the lobby spotted that out?
Endeavor still kings of the castle. They look down on everybody else. The EMP will go down as well. That's going to do damage as well as get rid of that Gibraltar bubble. Damage just raining down here. 4Gang still alive for now. Legitlolly, the last hope for them. And it looks like, ladies and gents, we might be going to yet another game here, unless Legitlolly can pull off the play of his career.
Phoenix Legacy know where they are, though. You've seen the pings. They exactly know where 4Gang landed. They want to take them out, but at the same time, Phoenix Legacy want points. They want to get closer to match point. It's going to be down to Endeavor to focus that one remaining player of Legitlolly. He shouldn't be able to win this. This would be a miracle. It would be so miraculous that I would shave my head if it happens on set.
Legitlolly staying alive for now. Endeavor make their move. Either 8 shots are going to be hitting hard here for Bryn. He'll take down 1. He doesn't get the second, though, and it's going to be Legitlolly, maybe. Just maybe, with the chance to win this. He comes in behind noises. He hits some good shots, but no, the pressure's getting to him. He can't finish this off, surely. He gets 1. He gets 1. Legitlolly stays alive. And I tell you what, 4Gang may have just won. I don't know what to say. How have they just won that? Legitlolly. I said play of a lifetime, play of your career. Well, you have just made it, and 4Gang are your champions. Woo.
I've got to shave my head.
Is an easy pickup for Endeavor's player, and this tournament keeps on going. Instead, we actually managed the most ridiculous finish ever because 4Gang come out of nowhere and they do what we thought was impossible. We said there's no way new esports can win a tournament on their first game of being on match point.